Right, and here goes the game. Alright, so we got the King playing against Soldier. Both of these AIs are scripted by Toby. The King is a AI that's made for the Age of Kings version, so it's limited to 50 villagers and the Age of Kings civilizations, only to its AI scripting features that were available on the meat, like the original release. But it can also play on versions since all of the AI code is backwards compatible, or at least or forwards compatible. I think so. We got the lumber camp being built by the King, and then we have Soldier, which is able to use all of the D edge features, and often features a swordsman rush. Well, I think the King has several different strategies that it can go for. Yeah, it seems to favor castle into unique strategies, especially on. So we might see that from Byzantines, I'm not sure. Soldier has Burmese, which will give it a nice attack boost for its swordsman. Got the boar hunting started for Soldier, and because the Age of Kings AIs couldn't hunt boar, see that. Looks like the King wants to build a mill, but can't see that. Okay, so Byzantine trash units. Yeah, they might do pretty poorly against the swordsman. It's kind of an unfortunate matchup, I suppose. Okay, so we got Soldier has some idle eco. Might be from boar hunt. I think it counts villagers being garrisoned in sea as idly time. Right, so we got the mill for the King, and Soldier already has both. Alright, looks like Soldier has found the King. And it might be... Oh, lost line of sight of the boar. Looks like Soldier might have stolen a boar away. Soldier might have another chance here to do that soon. The King is not going to be taken in. Kind of feels unusual to have a relic generated over here, like this close to the edge of the map. But I suppose this part of the map here is sort of neutral territory. This bigger neutral territory has the other things. Alright, so the King has Loom. Let's see, can't follow that up with. So yeah, he's still training villagers. Let's see, did Soldier already get Loom? Not yet. I see, that looks like a pretty cool feature. I don't know if we'll get to see that in action or not. Alright, so we got Soldier researching feudal age first, starting to train some militia. wonder if after this, yep, after that, we had a few. So soldiers, I think would have gone up at 26 pop, but should shrink. King went up one later on 27 pop plus loom. So the soldier will have about a minute to advance. Alright, so the king has finished the forage bushes and didn't have enough farms, so sent all of the villagers together. Soldier has some goat gatherers and sending the militia forward. Trying to see where the third militia is actually the first one he. Let's see. Looks like the soldier has only found this mill and then some of the farms in the TC. Hasn't explored the back lumber. Okay, so we got man-at-arms. Burmese, it has a +1 attack, but foraging has. Okay, and soldier has found lumber camp. We'll have to see if it starts attacking it. There we go, and there we go, idling all of the king's lumberjacks. That is the only lumber camp for king, so as long as these arms are staying here by the lumber camp, that could be causing the king some trouble. But we do have a tower getting placed here by the king. Let's see, so we got a battle. Okay, so it looks like the swordsman are going to get killed off. That will end soldier's attack for them. Got the first military unit for. Oh, it's not the first one. Yes, there's some other spears here. Got some reinforcements coming in. Soldier. It's got 4 man-at-arms. I feel like I'm missing some of them. Alright, it's got a one there. There's the 4th. So we got some village melee battles. Spearmen are winning due to pure numbers here, but they might start getting down here, or men-at-arms start coming in. Real advantage here, I think. King Scout coming in to help, and we also got a skirmisher here. No upgrades. So those skirmishers are going to do 1 damage to the man-at-arms. I think we have a blacksmith out here getting built. Let's see if fletching can get researched here. But I think the king's goal is to get up to Castle Age just based off of sources here that he has. And looks like soldiers committing the feudal age. Soldiers, I believe this is the gathering the soldiers in the center. Let's see when he decides to start attacking. Yeah, I'll try to watch the mic and see what's going on with it. So we got an attack coming in here from the king. Looks like the king was really lucky to get the soldiers to not fight underneath the TC. Alright, so I adjusted some things with the mic. Hopefully it doesn't cut out. Let me know in the chat if it still cuts out from time to time. Alright, so we've got a battle going on here. Soldiers got the superior numbers, and just in terms of hit points. Yeah, so Soldier's definitely winning his battles here, but due to the swordsmen, their strength are just a lot better than the spears and skirmers. Trying to guess and see if the skirmishers have the... Do they have the... Okay, so they do have fletching in, so that's important, but even still, the 2 attack against man-at-arms is not going to do a whole lot. Yeah, it makes me wonder if Soldier is using escrow to be able to ensure that villager production is always constant. Yeah, so we got the town center not working for a while because it doesn't have the food. We also got Soldier's walls going up, even though it might not need them at this point. So we got 16 men-at-arms here from Soldier. And got Forging. I don't think Soldier has Arson yet. Let's take a look here. Okay, so Soldier does have Arson. It's nice that he's able to get that upgrade at this point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the... This might be Perimeter 1, I'm not sure. Toby would have to say. One nice thing that Soldier has that the King and the Conqueror don't have is the ability to flee from the TC. So that can really happen in a man-at-arm rush like this. But Soldier is still nowhere near being able to get to Castle Age, but neither is the King at this point. The King sees most of its resources to try and make some defensive soldiers. And just as it seemed like it was trying to get up to Castle Age, it researched Wheelbarrow. And it seems like getting up to Castle Age is what the King really needs to do. Be able to either get crossbows or knights, and maybe eventually cataphracts. Just something to be able to get an advantage over these swordsmen. But I'm not sure if the King is going to be able to get there at this point. It's already trained all of its villagers that it can. Alright, so we got Castle Age. Let's see if that'll start making a difference. I'm curious to see if the AI will like continue the walls once this is chopped down. At least in the original game, the AI would not. Like, chopped through forest tiles were not part of the perimeter, and so if you had a forest as part of your wall, you were just waiting until the forest was chopped. But Soldier's men-at-arms are dancing, but they're underneath the TC. I wonder what's causing them to try and gather right here. They might be trying to avoid the tower and the TC at the same time. So Soldier has also started researching Castle Age, just 2 minutes away. Let's see if the King can do something in the 2 minutes that he's ahead in Castle Age. Alright, we got another barracks here. The king has a bunch of food banked up. We'll see if he's able to use that. We got a market, so that could be used here. Just gonna check and see. So we got soldier using the market, but I'm not seeing the king use it. But I think we learned from the previous stream that Capture Age can sometimes have bugged chat messages for the market trade. Alright, so the king is doing some market stuff. But so far, from what I can tell, hasn't gotten any Castle Age upgrades. And Swordsman should be coming in here in just a few seconds for a soldier, and that will probably make a bit of a difference. Got squires. But the blacksmith upgrades are still on feudal age upgrades. Alright, so we got late skirmisher and bodkin for the king. But we only got one archery range, so we got a second one coming. But unfortunately, skirmishers aren't really what you need against swordsmen. They've got 2 armor, and so these skirmishers will have 5 damage. So they'll do something, but just not a lot. Especially when they don't attack the nearest unit. Yeah, just not enough. Alright, we got a second tower here for the king, but it's not in a great spot. Yeah, this one it's not really defending anything. Right here would have been a much better spot, but with Age of Kings you can't really control where the tower gets placed. Just how far away from the TC it can be. Yeah, so I don't know if Soldier needs to have a certain number of soldiers to be able to start going underneath the TC. Looks like it might have started now. Let's see. Now turn the market trade messages off. So we still got some dancing soldiers here. Looks like they're trying to go and attack that villager, but still fleeing away from the tower. Alright, so looks like they're finally going toward the tower. Oh, never mind. So it does look like Soldier's able to rebuild the wall as it gets chopped, which is nice. So that must have been something that was fixed in user patch or in DE. Alright, so the king is getting pikemen, but is still just training skirmishers and spears. We have one skirmisher here. Where's the others? So we got another coming in. Alright, we got scorpions. That should be able to help out a little bit here. Yeah, so it looks like the King's army is just kind of scattered around the town, trying to attack whatever longswords are nearby. But these scorpions should clean them up pretty easily, and also keep the villagers by the TC. But we got this one that went into the TC range. And this one might be in TC range as well. So it looks like maybe scorpions don't run away from town centers properly yet. Since the soldier does have some scorpions, I would like to see a battering ram. That would probably make a lot of difference here. But it looks like if there's code to be able to dive underneath the TC, it's not fully working at this point. But at the very least, they're going to attack this tower, which should help their behavior a little bit. But really, at this point, it's kind of GG. The king has no soldiers left. And the soldier already has more than 100 villagers. So, I think I'll call the game here. Alright, then for Arena, we've got the king playing Saracens or Turks. And then Soldier is either, let's see, Soldier, Aztecs or Burmese again. So I think, yep, the Civ should still be set. Alright, and here we go for the... I think this will be the final game for today. So, Soldier against the King on Arena. So, first game to Soldier. Alright, so it's a deer map, so we might see... I don't know if Soldier pushes in the deer with his scout. This will probably be a bit easier for the AIs to navigate. We could possibly see the king mill the deer. I'm not sure if the king does that or not. So the king's starting out with a mill. And Soldier is not constructing any buildings yet except for houses. Alright, so we got the lumber camp for Soldier. And still no lumber camp for the king. No limb for either AI yet. So we got Turks for the king. I'm not sure if the king likes to go for the fast Imperial Age into the gunpowder or not, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Soldier's got Aztecs, which used to be one of the best, or maybe the best Civ on Arena. But we might still see the Soldier go for the Swordsman Rush. I can't remember what it goes for. So we got boar hunting for Soldier. And then the king's going for forage bushes. The king looks like it's just going to now find these geese. Yeah, I missed one back here. Meanwhile, it looks like soldiers found everything. Yeah, thanks, Toby. Yeah, and thanks, Rorik. Alright, so it looks like... Yeah, so the king did get Loom. It's behind by one villager. Yeah, so while we're just kind of waiting for the peaceful build-up in Dark Age, just looking at the previous round, the king was facing off against Conqueror, won on Arena with the Saracens, and lost on Arabia with the Britons. And so far, the king has only faced against Toby's other AIs. Meanwhile, Soldier was able to beat the Lieutenant on Arena. So both of these AIs won an Arena, so in theory that means that these AIs are both good on Arena about equally well. We'll see if that's actually true. But it is something that I try to make sure is that AIs that won more games on Arena than Arabia would face each other, and likewise for AIs that won more on Arena. Alright, so then Soldier's sending all of the shepherds and boar hunters to go gather forage bushes. And is building a mining camp. So Soldier doesn't have the wood for it, but I think ideally you'd be able to have some villagers that could build farms to kind of make sure you don't have 16 villagers all gathering for forage bushes. You can just see how much they're bumping here and walking around each other. But Soldier will be the first up to Feudal Age. The king should be following here, just a few villagers behind. And I'm curious to see if... I don't think the king will find this geese after the mining camp is built, but maybe if the villager happens to walk around. That doesn't look like it. Alright, so let's see what Soldier does as he gets to Feudal Age. It doesn't have the wood for any buildings yet, but it is getting double-bit axe. And Soldier is training an Eagle Warrior. At least training an Eagle Scout. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if that means Soldier will try and do some Feudal Age aggression. But I would guess more likely, it seems like you'd probably go for more of a Castle Age attack. But then again, this just based on how many villagers Soldier had when going up to Feudal Age, it does seem like more of an aggressive Feudal Age rush strategy. So we either have a second... Let's see, where there's an Eagle Scout going this way. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if this is a scout or if it's going to attack. So, Soldier already did find the king, so I'm not sure that we really need a second scout here, but let's see what this... Okay, so he's just gathering in the center. I think we saw that last game. And these guys might be doing the same. Alright, so pretty soon here we should see the king reaching Feudal Age, and might have enough resources to go up to Castle Age once it makes the Feudal Age buildings. If we get to 325, that'll be enough for A blacksmith and market. And we got the market. Is the blacksmith somewhere? Yes, down here. Okay. So, the king should be the first to reach Castle Age. So, the market's up. The blacksmith is up, and after this villager, I think the king will start researching Castle Age. Alright, so Soldier has 7 Eagle Scouts. I'm curious to see if he'll start doing anything with them anytime soon here. Alright, so the king has a couple villagers on stone, so it doesn't seem to be going for a castle. And it could be trying to go for an Imperial Age, we'll see. It's always possible that the king goes for something else besides either of those things. Alright, so we got a barracks for the king. Alright, got more eagles joining the center. I don't know if the king will try to go for monks to get the relics or not. We'll have to see, but they definitely won't be getting this relic anytime soon. Yeah, and Soldier's making up quite a lot of gold here. I know it's training eagles, but looks like the gathering percentages are probably a little bit off here. Alright, so adding in an archer range. If it adds in some archers here, that might be a good choice, getting the fletching. Be able to use up some of its gold. Okay, so going for skirmishers instead. This market might be able to equalize some of the resource imbalance. Alright, so we got a monastery going up, so we might be going for some relics here. Alright, but oh, wait, I thought they were about to attack, but they're just attacking the tiger. They're not really on the attack to start attacking the king. Alright, so the king has started researching Imperial Age. Making a monk. We'll start seeing them gather some relics. Alright, so waiting to see what the king tries to start adding here. I'm gonna guess an archer range might be next, yes. So that makes sense. Start going for some hand cannoneers, which might do pretty well against these Eagle Scouts, but it looks like they're about to start attacking. So this will be when the game starts getting interesting. And this monk might be denied. So it looks like the Eagle Scouts don't really have a bonus against walls, or the walls have enough armor to negate any building bonus that they have. So this is going to take a while. They're just doing one attack to the wall each strike. So these skirmishers is just as good against the walls as the Eagle Scouts. But we got a few Eagle Scouts in through the gate because of the monk. But the king is up to Imperial Age, making a couple hand cannoneers. And the gate is open here, but that soldier isn't marching through. But Castle Age is almost here. If the soldier can get the Eagle Warrior upgrade, they'll probably do... They won't do that much against the hand cannoneers, but will give a little bit more A little bit more HP, but probably more importantly, a faster train time. Unless the Castle Age research itself increases the train time immediately. Alright, so good news for Soldier is that Soldier has some skirmishers to be able to kill off the hand cannoneers. The hand cannoneers have to stay further away from the walls so that the skirmishers don't kill them off. I don't think this archer range is going to go up anytime soon. Alright, we got a watchtower. This also might not go up. Alright, yep, looks like the villager was attacked but got denied here. And villager's going to give up here pretty soon. And the villager ends up allowing more units into the walls. So this tower might possibly go up, since there's no skirmishers on this side. Nope. The skirmisher got in and started attacking the villager. So it's kind of unfortunate for the king that the hand cannoneers always seem to go into range of the skirmishers. And it looks like the king is not really building a mining camp for stone to be able to get a castle up. But at the very least, this monk is going to get this relic, so that'll help a tiny bit. Alright, so we got a tower that's finally going to get placed back here, but it's not really going to defend much. Yeah, we got arson for these. I think these eagle warriors are going to do a little bit more against the walls now with that. And that monk is, yep, going to go down. So yeah, if Soldier didn't have these skirmishers, I think the attack might even be fended off by now, unless maybe the hand cannoneers let the eagle warriors into the walls. Alright, so soldiers maybe decided to attack this archer range. That's the only thing I can see that would have changed this behavior here. Is that monk going to get through? Okay, no. The eagle warriors got him. And now they're through. And it doesn't look like the king is really changing strategy much at this point. So I think I'm gonna play on until the soldier breaks through the walls and starts getting soldiers near the TC. If nothing changes by then, I'll probably call the game. And we seem to be changing focus away from the gate. So maybe going back to this gate? I'm not sure. Oh, interesting. Looks like Soldier was able to convert this siege workshop somehow. I wasn't watching the screen closely, but I wonder if that might be the bug that allows monks to convert buildings from range. Alright, the gate's getting low and low on HP. An interesting soldier's trying to steal away this relic. And the gate's down. Yeah, I think this is GG. Alright, so we saw Soldier take both of those games. Good games to everyone that played today. Like I said, I think this will be the last game for today. That'll leave 3 more sets left in the second round, which should be... I should be able to stream again on Sunday, so that's when we'll finish the round, followed by a few more days to be able to script updates before round 3, and round 3 will be played on the new patch. So, not really a lot of interesting turning points in this game. The soldier was able to get an army early, and then was able to counter pretty much everything that the king had. Just look at the DE statistics here for a good measure.